What's going on, guys? This is Moonchild, the Dude No Way, and today I got a PvE build for Titans that puts out massive damage and gives you shamanic power. Tree Sunbreaker has one of the best neutral games in all of Destiny 2, so in this video I'm going to show you some mods and exotics you can use together to buff your fire team and burn through everything in your path. When it's time to commune with the elements, the first thing you want to grab is Melee Wellmaker. This mod makes kills with a charged melee drop an elemental well that matches your subclass. With Tree Sunbreaker, you get to yeet a flaming hammer into the face of your enemies. Every time that gets a kill, Roaring Flames from your subclass is going to activate, increasing the damage of all your solar abilities. That can stack up to 3 times. When it's capped out, your hammer's hitting more than twice as hard as it was before, and you're going to use this to cave in the skull of everything in your way. To take that idea a step further, we're throwing on the Heart of Inmost Light and grabbing a shotgun with 1-2 punch. Heart of Inmost Light is one of the best exotics for Titans that want to spam their abilities. This is actually my favorite Titan exotic, and when you put it on, using any ability empowers the other 2. Hitting a target with a melee empowers your grenade and barricade, and throwing up a wall empowers your grenade and melee. You get the idea. The empowered buff makes your barricade have more hit points, and your grenade and melee both get a hefty damage buff. On top of that, it drastically reduces your cooldowns, which is awesome because every now and then you're gonna chuck that hammer way off into the middle of nowhere. Trust me, it happens, but Heart of Inmost Light has you covered. To start a fight, pop a barricade and for the next 10 seconds your melee's hitting for 120% more damage. When the empowered buff falls off, just smack a target with a grenade and keep swinging that hammer. You can cycle this buff endlessly for constant uptime, and when you pair it with a 1-2 punch shotgun, things get taken to another level. When you hit a target with every pellet from your spread, for a few seconds your melee deals triple damage. If you're fast about smashing the button, you can actually squeeze 2 of these in before the timer runs out. In my experience, the easiest way to pull that off is just to barrel stuff the shit out of them. Make their body your entire screen and there's no way you can miss. 1-2 punch stacks with the empowered effect from the Heart of Inmost Light and the Roaring Flames buff from your subclass, and you're gonna smack through enemies and one-hit champions. With everything rolling together, you're looking at a 440% increase to your hammer damage that you can keep up forever. If you're getting value out of this, like the video and watch it till the end, and the YouTube algorithm will start slapping it on home pages across the world. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subs by October 2022, so stick around a while. Let's see how far we can take it. When you're up in melee range chucking hammers, things can get dicey pretty quick. You're going to want to be as survivable as possible, and for the Space Shaman power fantasy, we're going to need some healing magic. To pull that off, you want to slot the mods Well of Life and Elemental Charge. Well of Life makes picking up a solar elemental well start healing you over time. When you're murdering something with your flaming hammer, run over the well you created, and for the next 10 seconds it's going to keep topping off your health. With Elemental Charge equipped, all those solar wells are going to give you 2 stacks of charged with light. From there, put on Protective Light to spend those charges and keep you alive in the background without you ever having to think about it. When you're charged with light and your shield gets broken, the Resist buff pops up, and for the next 9 seconds you're walking around with a 50% damage reduction. During that window you'll probably clobber something with your hammer and pick up another well, which means it stays active pretty much all the time. To tie that into the power fantasy, think about the Black Panther in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Remember the way he communed with his father in that place somewhere between the bounds of life and death? Protective Light is like the spirit of your ancestors deflecting damage to keep you from meeting the afterlife. Now that we've covered how to keep yourself alive, let's get back to weapons and talk about what you should run in your Kinetic and Heavy slot. For your heavy weapon, I highly recommend the Ascendancy Rocket Launcher. It's the ritual weapon for Season of the Lost, and this thing is disgustingly good. The perk Explosive Light increases the damage of your rockets when you pick up an orb of power. It's 1 rocket per orb collected, with no time limit, and it can stack up to 6. In your Kinetic slot, the Agger's Scepter is by far the perfect weapon for the Space Shaman. In a room full of crowded enemies, getting a single kill freezes everything nearby. That's a direct increase to your survivability, and it makes it easy to walk in and start chucking hammers with no fear. On top of that, they're gonna blow up for extra explosive damage, and frozen targets sure are easy to melee. If you have the Catalyst, any champion or high health target is in for a rude awakening. Just swap to the alternate fire mode to absolutely delete whatever guy in the room thinks he's tough. The damage this puts out is nothing short of insane, and it's freezing and exploding anything stupid enough to walk through the beam. While that's active, it drains your super energy, so when you're done showing everyone who's boss, make sure you hold reload again to turn it back off. I want to take a second to appreciate how dope it is that you can turn your solar super into an empowered beam of ice. That speaks to the shamanic nature of the setup and your connection to the elements. As if this weren't enough, Season of the Lost brought us a mod that takes the damage this setup does and kicks it up even higher. To perfect the loadout, the cherry on top of everything we've put together is Thermoclastic Blooming. This mod spawns an orb of power for you and your allies every time you get a melee kill. If you're playing this right, smashing faces with your hammer is how you're getting most of your kills anyway. Both you and your allies are going to get supers left and right, which lets you tap into the alternate fire of Agger's Scepter about once a minute. Every time you pick up one of those orbs, explosive light procs, and now you've got a bunch of buffed rockets just waiting to be used. The amount of damage this puts out is on another level, dude. You smash your way through the battlefield, buffing your allies and weaving fire and frost together like a destructive force of nature. During Season of the Lost, these are the rest of the artifact mods you want to put on. Because they give you bonus super, let you stun and one-hit champions with your hammer and buff the damage of the overall setup by 30%. And if you're watching this and you want to be a space shaman but you don't have the Heart of Inmost Light yet, I'll tell you what, dude. I'm going to break down step by step a setup you can use to breeze through lost sectors and farm exotics fast, and to see it, all you gotta do is click the card on the right. Thank you to the channel members for keeping the dream alive. I am Moonchild of Do No Way, and I will see you in the next video.